Controversies emerge all the time in sports, be it football, golf, or tennis. They're also mostly resolved and people move on. But then there are certain controversies that you can't and shouldn't forget because they're just that heinous. It's with a pretty devastating heart that we share that Florida's quarterback Jalen Kitna has gotten jailed on possession of child abuse images. As things unravel further, let's discuss more in this video. Starting off with the 19-year-old with a murky secret. Florida's backup quarterback Kitna was arrested recently on 2 main counts. First was the distribution of child exploitation material, and then 3 counts of possession of child pornography. The 19-year-old son of former NFL quarterback John Kitna was arrested by the Gainesville Police Department and was booked into the Alachua County Jail. He was then expected to appear in court to hear the charges against him. The 5 charges against the player, which will be formalized by the state attorney's office, are all second-degree felonies that might result in a prison term of up to 15 years and a fine of up to $10,000. So, as much as his life is on hold now, thanks to the severity of his crimes, he's also been suspended indefinitely from the football program. The University of Florida Athletic Association said in a statement that they're shocked and saddened to hear the news involving the backup quarterback. Well, anyone would be shocked, right? You wouldn't expect anyone to have these horrifying fantasies involving children. According to a news release from the police, they received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that a user had been distributing an image of child abuse material on Discord, which is a social media platform. Then, the police did some digging and are now alleging that the investigation revealed the player was the possible owner of that Discord account. Speaking of zero tolerance, the Gainesville Police Department also said that the young footballer was interviewed by the officers, and he told them that he thought the images he shared were legal since he found them online himself. But the police say they searched his electronic devices and found 3 more images of child abuse material. Yeah, this just keeps getting worse and worse, and it's pretty upsetting to see that a guy who had such a bright career in front of him has ruined his life by getting involved in something as sick as this. He was a redshirt freshman and appeared in 4 games this season, completing 10 of 14 passes for 181 yards and a touchdown, which is a pretty promising start for a youngster like him. The University of Florida went on to state that the charges against him are extremely serious, and they and the UAA have zero tolerance for such behavior. Jalen has also been suspended indefinitely from the university, coming back to his reactions after it was revealed that he shared the images. He said that he realized he shouldn't have done it. The report also said that he understood shortly after his Discord account was deactivated and assumed that someone had reported him to the social media platform. The player went on to say that he received an email from them telling him that his account was deactivated because he violated their terms of service. Next up, the fans react. The Gainesville Police Department and the Internet Crimes Against Children Division served a search warrant, and Kitna's electronic devices were seized as part of it. Initial analysis of the device brought forward 3 more images of child. Like we told you guys earlier, no matter how good of a player you are, if you're a disgusting human being, and in Jalen's case, he has proven just how terrible he is, you can't really expect to make it to the top. Now, with something as heinous as this, no way. And of course, our sentiments are shared by many people around the world. His fans and friends are all devastated that something like this has come forward about their favorite quarterback. When he was arrested, of course, the news spread like wildfire, and just like us, everyone's first reactions were shock and utter disbelief. But then, slowly, people started to digest the news and tweeted about the whole situation. One user commented, "Oh wow, this ain't good," as they quoted the news about the player getting arrested. Some people still couldn't believe it and tweeted, "Yikes," and "This is insane." To be honest, we can't process it either. It's such a shame that someone with so much talent could come out to be such a terrible person. More on this, lies and excuses. And while we know that he's still supposed to be officially prosecuted, all the evidence that the police have found points in the direction that he's unfortunately very guilty. It also doesn't look like much of a mistake either. Of course, after getting caught, anyone's gonna pretend that it was a mistake and they didn't know it was against the rules. Like, come on, the best you could come up with was that you thought it was legal because you were sharing it on Discord. And even if we believe that, what were the 3 additional pictures doing on his phone? Anyway, some more information has been released, and we've got the news that Jalen Kitna was released from jail on an $80,000 bond, a day after he was arrested on 5 child charges that the police said included images of a man engaging physically with a young girl. Extremely disturbing stuff to even hear. The judge who was involved in it set the bond, and as the conditions for the player's release, also ordered him not to have any contact with minors without supervision and not to have any access to the internet. While all this was happening, it was reported that Jalen was sobbing into his hands when his parents, which included former NFL quarterback Jon Kitna, addressed the court during their 75-minute appearance. The footballer was at the Alachua County Jail and under very watchful eyes when his parents stepped into the courtroom and onto the podium. Moving on, jail time. They then promised that they'd supervise their 19-year-old son back home in Burleson, Texas. Can't imagine what it must be like for them, having to be with their child who was accused of distributing and possessing child pornography. And now they also have to take him home with all their relatives, fans, and media circling them like hawks, watching every move their son, who's now lost the favor of the entire world, makes. Throughout the young player's court appearance, his father kept tapping his feet repeatedly and held hands with his wife Jennifer. The anxiety of the two must be off the roof. According to reports, the player wore a green smock which was different from the striped pants and tops other inmates of the jail typically wear. This outfit is given to those who are being kept under close watch because of concerns about their welfare, but the picture of him being booked shows that he was given normal jail clothes initially. One of his lawyers, Caleb Kenyon, said that the boy has got a great family and support system and that he knows that Kitna's gonna be well taken care of. Are we seriously worried about him being cared for? We'd worry more about any minors near him. They'd need to be taken care of a lot more than this horrible guy. Oh, and let's not forget to talk about the police department releasing graphic details about the complaints that were filed against the suspended football player. And be warned, this is gonna be worse than what we've revealed so far. Lastly, it gets worse. Apparently, the investigation started back in June with a tip where the player shared 2 images of a pubescent girl. The police mentioned in the report that both the pictures had these words written on them: "So Young Jr." And remember we told you about the 3 additional images? 2 of those were nude pubescent girls in the shower. Honestly, we feel like we'll throw up. This guy is absolutely sick. These horrendous images were saved in his cell phone from last December. Last December. Let that sink in. The report did not estimate the ages of the girls, so of course his attorney argued that the player should be released with no monetary bond, as he suggested that those 3 images should be considered child erotica and not child. The nerve! The disgraced footballer also told the police that he had been in other messaging groups on at least one other social media platform that distributed similar material, and that other social media platform is Kick. And after he dragged Discord's name through the mud, they were quick to state that they have a zero-tolerance policy for child abuse, and that it has no place on their platform or anywhere in society. The spokesperson also said, "We work relentlessly to find and remove this abhorrent content and take action, including banning the users responsible and engaging with the proper authorities." Well, good luck with that. But let's not forget that this has been happening for a while. And just like Kitna, they're also now worried about their image and coming up with statements. With all that, that's it from our side today. If you found the video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or thoughts about Florida QB Jalen Kitna being jailed on possession of child abuse images counts, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.